probability. So that's going to be the number of times the event happens over the number of times that is in the sample space. So let's look at some examples. So if I'm pulling a card out of a deck of cards, so what's the probability that a chosen card is a black face card? So the sample space is the deck of cards, and the number in the sample space is 52. So what are the events that happen that we want? So we want the jack, the queen, and the king in two suits, right? So we've got the clubs and the spades. So that would give us 6. So that means the number of events that it's happening out of the total number. Okay, so how about rolling a die? So what's the probability of rolling a 6 when rolling a die? Well, if we're talking about a dice that it's a cube, right? So there's 6 sides, and then I want a 6. So there's only one way of getting a 6, so that's 1 out of 6. Okay, so now it gets a little more challenging. So that's just the basic beginning. If we have a blue and a gray die, so now we want to find out what's the probability we get the sum of 6. So it's different if I have a 1 on the blue and a 5 on the gray, or if I have a 5 on the blue and 1 on the gray. So that's one way of getting this. Two ways of getting a 6. Then I've got the 2 and the 4 and the 4 and the 2, and then a 2, and then if they're both 3s, and there's only one way of getting both 3s. So the number in the sample set is how many, the number in the sample set, if I've got a pair of dice, so I've got 6 different sides on each die, so that's 36, and out of here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so the number in the sample space is 36. Sorry, I was trying to say that. Okay, so let's go to this one. So find the probability the sum of the die is at least 9. So at least 9 means 9 or more, and so that means we're looking at 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, right? And that's as high as we can go. So we just have to write down the combinations. Again, if we have a pair of die, you don't have to think of them as blue and gray, but you do know that they're different die, so it matters. So I would have 5 and 4, and 4 and 5, 6 and 5, and 5 and 6, and 3 and 6, and 6 and 3, and 4 and 6, and 6 and 4, and 6 and 5, and 5 and 6. So there's 10 total ways to get a sum of at least 9 out of the 36 ways that you can have a number showing on a pair of die. All right, so probability at most 6. So at most 6 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see, we've got the doubles of 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then looking at all the others, I've got 1 and 2, and 2 and 1, a 3 and 1, and a 1 and a 3, and a 4 and a 1, and a 1 and a 4, and a 1 and a 5, and a 5 and a 1, and then a 2 and a 4, and a 4 and a 2. So all together, that gives me, hold on a second, a 2 and a 3, right? Did I get that? No, I did not. A 2 and a 3, and a 3 and a 2. So that gives me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 out of the 36 options. Okay, so we want a good way to count the numbers in a list. So if I've got this list of numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I want to count them. I could literally count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are in this list. But what I can do, if I've got the smallest number is M and the largest number is N, I can do this. I can say N subtract M plus 1, and that will count all of the numbers. So if I took 9, take away 5, and add 1, that gives me 5. So that's useful when we have bigger numbers and we don't want to count them all. So if I have the largest of 73 consecutive integers is 89. So what that means is that 73 is N minus M plus 1, right? So there, we know the largest of 73 is 89. So this N is 89. Just going slow so you understand what I'm doing. So minus m plus 1, and the m is what I'm trying to find. That's the smallest number, right? Because I've got the list from m to n. And so that if I solve that, that gives me x is equal to 17. Okay, so let's do one more. The smallest of 61 consecutive integers is 102. So that means 61 is equal to n minus m plus 1. So kind of working with this, knowing that the m is 102. 61 equals n minus 102 plus 1. And that gives me an n of 162. All right. So I'm going to stop there and move on to the next video.